Hey, hey, hey. Welcome. San Diego. Ready to do the wave? Not yet. It's too early. Saturday morning. A little groggy. I get it. All right. Well, we're going to wake up. We ready to wake up? Are we ready to wake up? One more time. Are we ready to wake up? All right. We'll have to work on this a little bit. Okay. I get it. 10 o'clock. Welcome to Reach Your Peak, your Reach Your Peak meetup. Real quick, we'll go over who I am and why you are here. Does that sound good? I'm the founder of a company called Reach Your Peak LLC. It's an elite entrepreneur training company, also an international best-selling co-author and professional speaker. And there's a lesson behind this book, which I'm not going to teach today due to time constraints, but do you see my face or name anywhere on that book? Anybody? Nobody? How about on the back? In the fine print, can you see that? I'll answer it. No, it's not on there. So I am a co-author. So this was a collaborative book, and because this young woman asked me a question, and I gave her an answer, a one-word answer, because of that one-word answer, I stand before you a best-selling international co-author. I wrote maybe, I don't even remember, 7 or 8 pages in here. I put everything I had into those 7 or 8 pages. But the point to that is work smarter, not harder. If you're given an opportunity, you see it, then take it, grasp it. Did that take much effort to write 7 or 8 pages compared to an entire book? No. So work smarter, not harder. I'm also a fitness expert, certified personal trainer, and founder of an online venue called Global Fitness Club. We'll cover that in a little bit more detail. This is another result of saying that one word when I was asked by a very dear friend of mine, Jason Nast, who might be watching. Hello, Facebook Live. I wanted to say hi to everybody out there. Do we have anybody on there, Karen? Can't see any comments just yet. So what happened was, Anka, how you doing, Anka? We know her, don't we, Anthony? So this is an actual shot from a live television show, a morning television show in Arizona. And again, it was because I answered with one word that has proven to catapult my business time and time again. And you're going to learn at a deeper level, especially when you attend the Reach Your Peak Summit, exactly how to do that, how to put it into your daily practice so you can achieve success that you want and deserve. Creator of Fitnotherapy, which is an audio therapy series, a breakthrough program that will help you to reprogram your mind, 20 minutes audio, and once you've listened to it, you will change. You will look forward to working out. Is one of the side benefits. You will have more energy. You will sleep better, all from just listening to this CD. There are 3 of these currently. These are not for sale here today. This is just to show you background. Here's one for smoking cessation. This one is the inner game of peak performance, which is what my company is all about, and also the inner game of weight loss. And Anthony, you're listening to these now, yes? And how are those working for you? Oh, okay. So he said that he wishes there was a female voice, but other than that, they're okay because it's my voice. So we're friends, but I'll talk to him later just so you know. I'll straighten him out. We have fun. Anybody know who that is? Can you recognize who that is? Shark Tank. Yeah, Kevin Harrington. Kevin Harrington. Can you hear okay? Okay. Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank, one of the original sharks from Shark Tank. What is he holding? Fitnotherapy. So I've met this gentleman more than one occasion, shared the stage with him once, an amazing guy. Have you ever heard of As Seen on TV, that red thing where you go to the stores and there's a whole section? That's him. He's the one that started that whole movement. And amazing, energetic guy. And there he is holding, he's like, hey, he's taken 2 pictures holding Fitnotherapy. I've got the other one on my phone. Amazing guy. I used to be a master trainer at another elite entrepreneur training company called Success Academy. Did that for several years. Trained from stage entrepreneurs just like you on a regular basis. And that's part of the reason I'm here today, because I modeled success. My mentor said, do what I do and then go out and teach it. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm very passionate about helping entrepreneurs achieve peak physical and mental performance. And that's actually going to be the topic for today as we go through. So would you agree that where you are today That you have, where you are today financially, where you are today in your personal relationships, would you agree that you created that? That you created that situation? Could you imagine somehow that that is a result of you, not someone else, and not circumstance? Would you agree with that? Yeah? And where you are today. So we're going to demonstrate how that is true. Now, you all have fun sheets in front of you. For those of you that are here physically, for you on Facebook Live, just take notes. Take notes. Get out a piece of paper, a pen, take notes. So you can see on your upper right-hand quadrant the acronym TBEAR going down. You see that? So this coming up will be the first one. So get out a pen and start. Does everybody have a pen? Who needs a pen? All right, we'll get you a pen here in a minute. Oh, here they come. She's like right on it. So it all starts, everything starts where you are today with our thoughts. With our thoughts. Thoughts. With our thoughts. Oh, no pen. Need one more pen. Everything starts with our thoughts. So if we think something, we think it. And when we think it again, the same thought. We keep thinking that same thought over and over and over again. And over and over and over again. And it gets so ingrained into our brain. What does that then become? There's a hint on your sheet. It's the next letter. The letter's B, by the way, for those on Facebook. Behavior. Anybody else? You guys should know this. Your thoughts become beliefs. Does that make sense? You think something often enough, and suddenly, not suddenly, but over time, it forms a belief. Many beliefs are formed in the imprint stage from 0 to 7 years old. Others are at childhood. Others are in adulthood when you are put in front of situations that are repetitive. And those eventually become beliefs. Now, you have that belief, and you're holding firm to that belief. One of those might be, this is the kind of diet I'm going to stay with, and nobody's going to tell me anything different. This is the best diet. It is my diet. It is the best on the planet, and you can't tell me any different. What does that bring up? Emotions. Very good. Very good. Yes. It could be happy emotions, sad emotions, angry emotions, but it brings up emotions. And you as astute entrepreneurs and business men and women, you know that customers buy on emotion, yeah? So when you can get them to that state where they are getting emotionally charged about your product or service, then you've done them a service because now they are ready to move forward. So your thoughts lead to beliefs. Your beliefs then evoke emotions. And then those emotions, once a customer becomes emotional and they're ready to make that purchase, what would that be called in your sheet? What are they doing? Taking action, exactly. So your emotions lead to action taking. And when you take action, or you decide to not take action, what do you then get? What is the outcome of that? Your results. Your results, that's right. So whether you take actions, it's the result of your actions or inactions. Do you get that? Your actions or inactions. It's a big, yeah, you're getting that, Michael. You're with me? All right, good. Because you're gonna be even more with me in just a moment. So the first three on your sheet, the first three, thoughts, beliefs, and emotions, are those internal or are those external? Internal, right? So you can see that everything that you have today, your results today, are a direct result beginning with your thoughts. And everything is internal in your mind. And this is key going forward because Reach Your Peak is about mindset and how to reprogram your mind at a subconscious level to help serve you better so that those thoughts, beliefs, and emotions will better serve you and in turn better serve your customers and your family. Does that make sense? Good. All right. Everybody is with me now. I see it. How about you on Facebook? Does that make sense? Are you guys with me? I'm going to check the back, see if I can see anybody. Oh, yeah. We got author Valessa Winslow, Kirby Timmons. How you doing, buddy? It's been a long time. Been a long time. Peak mental and physical performance. What is it? In your professional life, it is very, very important. It's very important to be at your peak level of physical and mental performance. And just as it is important in your professional life, it is every bit as important in your personal life as well. So let's break this down. What is peak mental performance? When you're in a state of peak mental performance, one attribute is you are very, very focused. How many of you can remember a time when you were very focused and there was no distraction getting through to you? And for some of you, you may have to go back a while for that. I get that. But how many of you can remember that time? A time where you were focused and you were on it and you were getting things done. Can you remember that? Anybody here? Yeah? We got a couple hands going up. And by the way, this is about participating and playing full out. So when the speaker up here asks a question and you know the answer is yes, it's up to you to take that action and play full out, because how you participate and play in here is how you will participate and play outside of here, in your business, in your life. So get in the habit of participating and playing full out. Does that make sense? We all agree to do that. All right. We do? All right, we'll see. We're gonna practice right now. Everybody put your pens down. Let's see what we do here. Take your right hand, bring it up in the air. Good, good, good. All right, put that down. Let's go with the left hand. Let's see if that one works. Bring it up in the air. Good. All right. All the way up. No elbow bends. There. That's good. Good. Technique is important. When you're at the peak mental performance, at the level of peak mental performance, you are also very, very confident. Yeah. How many of you remember a time when you were just confident? Nothing was going to stop you. How did that feel? Feels pretty good? Feels empowering? Yeah, so when you're at a peak level of mental performance, then that attribute is always prevalent, always there. You're also very attentive. How many of you have ever talked to somebody and you really had a point to make, and as you're talking to them, you notice that they're doing something like this? Or they got their phone, they're looking at it, and they're distracted. How does that make you feel? Has that ever happened to you first, by the way? Ever? Yeah? How does that make you feel? Megan, how does that make you feel? Underappreciated, yeah. What about you, Anthony? Not valued. Michael? Annoyed, yeah. Thomas? Unimportant. Karen? she's filming in the back and wasn't ready for that. That's funny. But now let's turn the table. Now let's say that you're talking to an individual, and in this case it's me, and we're talking, and I'm extremely attentive, and I'm making eye contact the whole time. I'm nodding in agreement. I'm reacting to what you say by commenting back. I'm 100% immersed in you at that moment. How does that make you feel? Besides intimidated. Listening? Listened to, yeah. Respected, maybe? Does it make you feel better than someone that's not paying attention? So think about yourself. This is all about you, by the way. It's not about me. You get that, right? So put yourself in that situation that if you're not attentive, how are they feeling? If you're talking to a prospective customer, and how many of you have ever been to a networking event, a seminar, and you're talking to somebody, you're engaged, and somebody that knows one of you comes up to interrupt? Yeah, exactly. And oftentimes our first inclination is to direct our attention to that person, right? So I challenge you to get in the habit of staying focused on that person. They may feel like it's rude, but they'll get it. They are the ones being rude because they came in to interrupt. Put your attention on that individual. Get in the habit of doing that, and you'll see an increase in your sales as a result, because you will then be paying more attention to your customers on a habitual level. Does that make sense? Productive. Oh, yeah. When you're at operating at peak level of mental performance, you're going to be much more productive continually. Can you remember a time when you were really, really productive? I mean, you've been productive lately just by packing your stuff like crazy, right? Productive as heck. And you're getting things done. You're accomplishing your goals. Does that feel good to be productive? Absolutely. What if you could have all these attributes all the time throughout your life, every single day? Every single day, all the time, operating at a peak level of mental performance. And another attribute is you will be in control. In control of what? I'll give you a hint. It's one of those letters on your sheet that you already filled out. What else? Peak mental performance. You're getting closer. You've almost used them all up. That's good. One more, baby. Emotions. Oh, I didn't hear you. Thomas gets the prize. You can have a water or a juice, fries. Good. Emotions. So if you're so let's look at this. What if you're not in control of your emotions? What if you're allowing anger to bubble up at a moment's notice and you burst out? You have an emotional outburst right in front of a customer or maybe to that person. How will that impact your business if you're not in control? Yeah. It will kind of take your business out of control, won't it? So these are all attributes of peak mental performance. So now let's switch over and take a look at peak physical performance. When you're at a state of peak physical performance, you're just relaxed all the time. There's no stress. You're working out, exercising on a regular basis. You're eating right. You're feeding your body the things it needs. And you're just relaxed. How many of you like to be relaxed? Everybody but Anthony. That's good. Good. He was taking notes. He was very engaged. He was being very attentive. You're also, when you're at a state of peak physical performance, you're also always very highly energized. How many of you have ever gone or were about to go work out or exercise and then thought, I'm too tired. I don't want to do this. I'm not feeling it. Everybody's been there, right? And then let's take it a step further. How many of you then just went ahead and pushed forward and did it anyway? Can you remember one time you did that? Thomas is thinking hard. So, and there's no judgment here because it's human nature, right? But once you do push through and you work out, how do you feel after compared to before when you were all tired? I'll give you a hint. Every single time without fail. Every single time without fail. No matter how tired you think you are, if you just get your butt off the couch and work out, do something, exercise, you will notice your energy level increases right then and there, instantly. What if you could have that at your beck and call at all times, always present, always energetic? You're also much more active. Much more active. So if you're continually working out, doing the right things, exercising, eating right, have you ever been on the couch where you're just like, I'm tired, I'm not feeling it, and even the smallest little task seems like the most difficult, and there's no way I'm getting off this couch. I am not getting up to grab that remote and change the channel. It's just too far away. My butt would have to depart from the couch. I would have to actually stand up to go over to that remote. Have you ever been there? I have, yeah, of course. Well, you will be more active, and that will just be like an afterthought. When you are in peak physical performance, you just get up and go get it. You'll be doing more. You won't be sitting on the couch to begin with, watching TV. You'll be up and being productive. It gives you more strength. More strength when you are at a peak level of physical performance. So, ladies, does it feel good when you are, let's say you've worked out and you've got a little bit of that pump and you're firm? Does that feel good? Absolutely. Yeah. It feels wonderful. So you feel stronger. You're solid, right? You feel solid. You just feel present. You feel good. And you're like, everything. You see how this is starting to all weave together? Mental and physical performance? You just feel good all over, inside and out, when you are operating at a peak level of mental and physical performance. Okay, so we have an equation here. This is really complicated, so pay attention. Peak mental performance plus peak physical performance equals peak performance. So I tricked you a little bit there. So yeah, I can't make it any more difficult. Sorry, but that's it. How many of you would like to be at a level of peak performance at all times every day in your life? Yes? Still got that elbow crick there, I see. There we go. A little better. In athletics, right? Form is important. That's right. So in your professional life, you need energy. You need vitality. You need to be on point to make those tough decisions. And you need a clear mind. So what if let's take it back to a time where you're not feeling great. You're feeling kind of crappy, to be honest. You're feeling crappy. And you're in business and you have a tough decision to make, an important decision. And you're not feeling great. You're feeling crappy. And if you're feeling crappy and you have a tough decision to make, you're feeling crappy, you have a tough decision to make, you're feeling crappy, what kind of decision do you think you might make? A crappy decision. So you never want to be in that state where you look something like that poor little guy and you're just not feeling it. And you're just grumpy. You're grouchy. You can't stand being awake at that moment, and now you have to deal with a customer or you have to make a tough decision. So how's that going to impact you? Not in a good way, right? Yeah. The thing is, you can't just will it. Willpower does work. Don't get me wrong. The only issue with it is that it's temporary. How many of you have ever heard of affirmations or incantations where you read them and look at the mirror and you say, I am wealthy, I have a boat, I have a yacht, I have a house. Those work, but again, they're temporary. What if you could reprogram your brain to make everything we've been talking about permanent? And what if you could do it quickly and not have to do it daily, every morning? There's nothing wrong with incantations. There's nothing wrong with all of that. So continue to do that. But what if you could permanently program your brain? Well, the good news is you can. It exists. There is a way to do it. So how many of you have a spouse, a significant other, an uncle? Okay, we got everybody there. So what if you were to come home and, again, you weren't feeling great? You know, the thing is, your family, those loved ones around you, they're counting on your energy. Did you know that however you impact, so look, we're always thinking about ourselves, and that's human nature once again. So there's no judgment there. You're thinking about, how am I operating? Am I doing the best I can for me? Well, did you realize that however you are presenting yourself is directly impacting those closest to you? Did you know that? So if you come home and you get in a big argument because you're not operating at peak level of performance, well, the thing is, those closest to you bear the brunt of it. So think about that. How are you impacting others? It's often more powerful to get in the habit of thinking about that, because that will change your life much faster than thinking about how it impacts you personally. You know, we will often do more for others than we will for ourselves, yeah? You know, if we love someone, we will go to the end of the earth. We will die for them. So think about that. What are your actions? How are they impacting the other individuals in your life? Maybe in your business. Maybe your customers. How are you showing up? How can you improve that? Does everybody here believe you can always improve no matter how high you've gotten? Yeah, absolutely. There's only one human being that's ever walked this planet that claimed to be perfect, and I believe it. And none of us are that. But we can continually strive for perfection and never stop, can't we? And what would life be if we didn't have that to look forward to? I personally think that would be boring. Well, I've achieved it. I'm at the top. Now I just kick back, swing in my hammock, and I'm perfect. I'm not impacting lives anymore. I'm not helping anyone. What good is that? You're entrepreneurs. You're about helping people, so you get that. So the thing is, the mind and body are a team. The mind and body are your team. They both work together. So here's a great illustration of that. Mind and body are a team. Remember the Olympics? Relay races? Anybody ever seen that? No? So there's 4 gentlemen or ladies, depending on the race, that are involved in a relay race. See that baton? See that baton, Michael? So he's going to run, hand it off to the second person. Have you heard of relay? Okay, good. I'm not messing with you. Just wasn't sure. So does he look like he's operating at peak level of physical and mental performance right there, just by looking at him? Just by the fact that he made the Olympic team, do you think, I mean, just to do that is an amazing, you know how many thousands of people competed for that position he's in? So yes, the answer is yes, he's operating at peak physical and mental performance, because they are a team, remember, your mind and body. So he hands it off to the second guy. Does he look like he's operating at peak performance? Yes? The guy's so fast he's blurry. Look at that. Then he hands it off to the third guy. He has to lean forward for the aerodynamics because he's so fast. Also operating at peak performance. He's going to hand it off to the fourth gentleman, the fourth guy, the anchor man that's going to take it home. The anchor man that if his team was losing, it's his responsibility to make up that difference and pass and win. He is the anchor man, the most important. It is part of a team. And if they turn the corner, hand it off to the final guy, the final leg, and they give it to him, and he looks like that, What happens to the team? What do you think would happen to that race? Probably won't win. Even if they had a lead, do you think possibly they might lose? So the key is, and the good news is though, this guy, he's there. He's being active. He's actually giving it a shot. So here's the thing: no matter where you are today, there's no judgment. It is merely a snapshot in time of your life where you are today. Remember, you can always improve no matter where you are right now. Yes? So this guy at least is in the game. But is he hurting the team because he's not at that level yet? Yes. So there are different levels of fitness. There's different levels of performance. There are bodybuilders that are massive, and you can tell there's runners like that first guy that's really muscled. You can tell just by looking at him. There's volleyball players, very slender, but do you think they're in shape and operating at peak performance? Yes. Swimmers, Olympic swimmers. Do you think they're in shape? What else? Marathon runners. Did I already say marathon runners? Good. So marathon runners, do you think they're in shape? Do you think they're in better shape than all of us combined? Probably, because they run and, they make us tired just watching, right? So based on that, what do you think, just guess, for those of you who don't know, what do you think this individual does? Swim? Ooh, 2 swims right away. How about you, Megan? You got a different one? A rower? Oh, that's a first. Good. What about you? Swim? Okay. Swim. So obviously the guy gets physical fitness, right? He understands the importance of operating at a peak level of physical performance. What does this guy do? You ready? He is the number 1 ranked chess player in the world. Think about that. He understands the importance of physical performance as well as mental, obviously, for chess. For physical performance, think about it. He pushes wooden pieces on a board. But he understands that the mind and body are a team. That's what made him the number 1 ranked chess player in the world. The world. Not in his local town, not in the U.S., not in his country, but the world, because he understood the importance of both. What does that, now you're thinking, what does that do for you and your thoughts on how important that might be for you and your business, for you and your relationships? He went full bore, took it all the way, and 3 hours, these are 3-hour marathons, concentrating the whole time. You're like, do you think it takes a lot of energy to do that? Mental energy? What about physical energy? Absolutely, it does. It drains you completely. He gets that. That's why he's number 1. So oftentimes it takes some of us to hit rock bottom. And each one of you may have hit your own personal rock bottom to date so far already. Some of you maybe have not. And, to be honest, I hope nobody ever does if you haven't yet. But for me, that was the case. I hit rock bottom. I used to be in great physical shape. I never had any bad readings on health screens. They do the blood pressure, take a little blood, test that, and it was always perfect across the board. I never had to worry about it until a number of years ago when I went in, same thing, routine screen, pricked the blood, took the pressure, and the nurse is sitting right across the table, and I'll never forget this. I'm sitting there, and she got a little quiet. She's looking down at the results. She looks up at me. She looks down at the results. She looks up at me, and she says, "You need to see a doctor." And I'm across the table. It didn't impact me at all. I'm in complete denial because I've never had a bad reading in my life. Not one single of the numbers. Not one. And I was like, she could see it all over me. And so I was not really buying into it. And so she said, she was such a sweetheart. She said, "Would you mind if we tested again on your other finger?" Sure. Maybe. I'm thinking faulty equipment. It was battery powered something, and it's faulty, right? Everything's mobile these days. So we did it. The other finger, guess what the results were? The exact same. Still in denial. I took the results, a piece of paper. I didn't even know what the numbers meant because I never had to worry about it before. I've never investigated it, never once. I took it and I put it in my desk drawer and I left it there. For 2 weeks, I was in denial. And one day, I walked through the door. That was my son Wyatt. He was dressed in a tank top and shorts. I knew what he was doing. I said, "Hey, Wyatt, what are you up to?" He said, "I'm working out, Dad." So he's working out at home. That was the moment. I said, "That's it. I'm back. Not only am I going to start working out, but I'm going to take it another level, not only for my accountability, but to help others to never reach that level I did." And so I formed the company called Global Fitness Club, which is part of Reach Your Peak. So that exists for that one reason, because I hit rock bottom. And for so many, this is true. There's a great author, J.K. Rowling. Many of you know who that is, Harry Potter series. And so rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. I mean, how many times have you heard of these zero to hero stories where someone actually, it took them to get to the bottom, to wake up, which is what happened with me, to finally start shooting them to success and helping others. So, good. All right, we're just getting started, so here's today's agenda. First, we're going to start off with introductions. So each one of you is going to take a turn, and quickly, you're going to introduce yourself, and I'll give you the template for that in just a moment. Then we're going to cover the 3 keys to unlocking your peak performance, the reason you're here today. Then we will go into next step resources. So I just want to ask you guys this, and you on Facebook as well. Have you gotten any value so far? Any at all? Yeah? Woo, okay, more than a little. If I keep bringing that value, if I give you even more value, would it be okay with you? Would I have your permission to spend maybe 10 minutes and give you an amazing offer? And whether or not you take it is up to you. It's up to you. But would that be okay with you? Would I have your permission? I will ask you at that point if I've given you enough value, and you can decide whether or not. Does that sound fair? You okay with that? You okay with that on Facebook? Because this is for you too. Okay, good. Next step resources. The important thing to realize here is you're here learning one concept, one educational moment of 2 hours or so. What you should always be asking yourself, no matter where you are in your life, where you're getting that education, what step you're at, is what is my next step? How do I take my game up another level? And I learned this at a deep level from my personal mentor, who to this day continually invests in higher and higher levels of advanced learning and education and seminars and workshops. Never stops, keeps reaching higher. So that's something to ingrain in your habits, is to always, every time you go to, I now get to the point where I can't wait to hear what the offer is. If it's a seminar, right? I want to hear what it is. I want to know what my next step could be. It may not be for me, but I want to know what it is, because I'm always looking to grow. It's a complete shift from what most people are thinking. Most people are in the back, like, oh, here comes the offer. I'm like, what is it? What can we do next? I'm ready to move to the next step. And then we'll go through a mastermind session based on what your introduction, which we'll go over right now, what you say in the introduction. So we're going to take turns, and each of you are going to come up, and quickly, you're just going to say who you are. You're going to get a microphone. Who you are, what you do, quickly. That part always, some people want to tell their whole life story. And then what is your biggest challenge? That's the most important. What's the most important? Okay, one of you got it. What's the most important? All right, good. So what is your biggest challenge? Why is that the most important? Because everyone else, while you're standing up here saying, my biggest challenge is, they're writing down notes. They're writing down notes with your name on it, so that when we're done with this, with the main part, we're going to get into a mastermind session, and we're all going to pool our resources, our experiences, our knowledge, and help each other to overcome those challenges. That's a mastermind. That's part of a mastermind. Make sense? So you all get this opportunity starting right now. And, tradition is ladies first. So we're going to give Megan some love, and everybody gets love when they come up here. So let's give Megan a big hand. Yeah, Megan. And I'm going to hand over the mic. As she struggles to get past. So, see the green dot? See the green dot, everybody? Hold that toward your face and hold it right there so they can hear you loud and clear on Facebook Live. So you got it? Who you are? Right there. That's it. It's on.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name's Megan. I'm currently working here with Michael as a small-time business owner. It's like an online reselling business. And then, I guess my biggest challenge right now is to be consistent because I can get up and going, but I can't stay at that level for like I can, but I haven't figured out a system to do that yet. So that's my biggest challenge right now.
So did everybody write that down? What's their biggest challenge? Oh, Thomas. He's like, oh, yeah, deer in the headlights. He's just now grabbed his pen. It's about following instructions. Good job. Got it. But write them down so that when we get back to that session, you know how to help. All right. Next up, we'll go with, I think, youth, and that would be you. So, Michael, everybody give it up for Michael. Big hand. Green dot. Up high.
I'm Michael Lambert. I am a small business owner, just e-commerce based, and my biggest challenge, basically me. Need to work out more, just stay consistent in doing things that I need to do.
So, I'm the only one to give him a hand. I know you guys are writing. So, when you finish writing, let's show him the love he deserves. Tell me when you're ready, because everyone gets love. Okay, Anthony's ready. Thomas is writing a book. All right, ready? Here we go. Yeah. So let me ask you both real quick. Megan, you said consistency. Michael, you said yourself. And you also used the word consistency. So what would it mean to both of you if you were to be able to overcome that challenge and become more consistent? A lot. A little more specific would be to your business. Exponential growth. Okay, good. Good. So that's the thing, is to realize, what is my biggest challenge, and then what would overcoming that challenge do for me? And sometimes that may not end up being your biggest challenge when you get the answer. Does that make sense? So you might think, well, what really is my biggest challenge? And that could be yours. I'm just saying to always have that thought process and recognize that that may not be the biggest challenge that you need to tackle, and put your focus and energy on overcoming. That's all. And that's the good thing about masterminds, is I do this once a month in different locations, so you can come back and have another challenge addressed. And we do this month after month after month. All right, we're going to flip the table and go the opposite of youth to someone a little older who's going to be surprised because it's Thomas, not Anthony. Anthony's going, where's he going with this? So all right, let's give Thomas a big hand. He's coming. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Green dot. Hi, my name's Thomas. I'm an internet marketer. And my biggest challenge is staying constantly motivated. It kind of comes in spurts. Some days I'll have a ton of motivation, and the other days I'm not as motivated. It's something terrible that I definitely want to work on.
This is a comment. I think Megan started this off with consistency, and it's an interesting theme. So continue to stay motivated. Is it important to stay motivated in your business? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What if you weren't motivated consistently? You'd be that person on the couch that won't even get up to go get that remote to change the channel of something you shouldn't be watching to begin with, right? So good. So a lot of this, so it's good. You guys are being very, very honest, and that's key. The more honest you are with yourself, especially in front of others, the faster you will catapult past that moment. Got it? There is one more person that we're going to bring up. And he's got a nickname, the Dark Knight. We're going to bring up Anthony. Everybody give him a big hand.
All right, my name is Anthony. I am a digital marketer, and my biggest challenge, I think, is speed to action. Meaning I have ideas, I have concepts, and it takes me a little longer to implement them than I would like to, and creates the results I get.
Everybody got notes on that? Everybody wrote that down. Speed to action. Efficiency is what I'm hearing. Yeah. Okay. So, again, we'll address that at the end. will address all of those challenges. Good job. Give yourselves a hand. Good job. Because even though we're in a nice small family setting here, we're also on Facebook Live, so that adds to the nerve factor a little bit, right? So each and every one of you had a little bit of nerves, and that's okay. And that's okay. Did you know, how many of you have ever heard of Johnny Carson? I have to ask this because some have not heard of him. So you haven't either? All right, so, okay. How many of you have heard of Jay Leno? Everybody, good. So Johnny Carson was Jay Leno's predecessor on The Tonight Show for decades. So how many of you have heard of Jimmy Fallon? So Johnny Carson was one of the first. He wasn't the first to do The Tonight Show. And he went up on stage every single night, just like Fallon does now, just like Leno did in the past, every single night in front of millions. He had a studio audience of hundreds, but a television audience of millions every single day. And he shared that when he was behind the curtain, before Ed McMahon would bring him out, remember Ed McMahon? That was his sidekick. Would bring him out. He was nervous beyond description. This is a professional comic entertainer. Every single day before he came out on stage, he was nervous. So is it okay? Is it okay with you to be a little nervous coming up and speaking in front of just a small group? Absolutely. It's actually, it helps you. That's a good kind of anxiety. It's a motivational anxiety. So be okay with it. Just be okay with it. Say, that I'm where I should be. The best in the business used to go through this. What makes me any different, right? So you can use that as a comforting factor going forward. Where did I put it? There we go. All right, now we're going to get into the good meat. All of this is good. Are we having fun so far? Yeah? Having fun? All right, we're going to cover the 3 keys to unlocking your peak performance. Can you still hear me back there? It's getting noisier in here. That's why we have the microphone. Your first key is nutrition and exercise. Nutrition and exercise. Good, you guys have that. Oftentimes, folks believe that exercise and nutrition weigh differently in their overall performance window. And there was a famous fitness, he was called the Godfather of fitness. And many of you know his name. Some of you have never heard of him, and that's okay. His name was Jack LaLanne. So there's a head shaker. So Jack LaLanne was one of those innovators that he did workouts on television in a living room set with a chair, rubber bands, a dog on occasion, his wife on occasion, but he would do workouts on television for then stay-at-home moms, which at that point most moms were, to work out with him. And he wore this jumpsuit, and he understood, he was way ahead of the curve. In fact, we learned most of what we know about fitness, in my opinion, from this gentleman. Here's what he had to say about nutrition and exercise. He said, exercise is king and nutrition is queen. Together, you have a kingdom. A king and a queen. So they're that important together. Very powerful. And another thing, when it comes to nutrition, here he is talking about nutrition on his television show. It's black and white. That shows you how long ago it was. I remember as a little dude. Yep, you remember this too. I remember watching my mom work out with those rubber bands. I remember the rubber bands. I remember the closet they were hanging in. I remember their color, everything. And she would work out with this guy leading. And here he's talking about white sugar candy, cake, ice cream, jams, jellies, cookies, pies, pastas, most canned food, and soda pop. All the things you should eat, right? No. So here's the thing. We all, not all, some, I've noticed some people take nutrition to the level of religion. I'm vegan. I will never touch meat or any animal-based product ever again as long as I live, and neither should you. You know, kind of like the preacher, you're going to hell. And the same with the meat eaters. Well, you should be eating meat. You're not getting enough protein. You're going to die. You know, so they get religious about it. The beautiful thing is Jack LaLanne narrowed that field and said, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your nutritional approach is, what religion you follow when it comes to nutrition. Because if you just follow this one sentence, it doesn't matter. You can stick to your routine. If you just follow this one sentence, you will be fine. You'll be fine. Stick to your religion. That's fine. But if you just follow this one sentence, It doesn't matter. How many of you want to know what that one sentence is? Do you really? Honestly? Because we can skip over that if you don't. I mean, all the hands went up, but I'm just reading faces here. So, you ready? This will liberate you. When you go to the grocery store, from this point forward, all you have to do is utter this one sentence to yourself every single time. Every time you're looking at a food item on a shelf, or what they call food items, is ask this question or say this statement, and then recognize what you should do as a response. You ready? He said, if man made it, don't eat it. Can it get more simple than that? If man made it, don't eat it. Do you think we were designed to make our own food? Because honestly, isn't that what we're doing? We're making our own food from products that don't belong in these bodies. So why not just stick to things that man did not make? Then you're guaranteed. Well, you have a better guarantee. There are still things out there that are not man-made that aren't good for you. You get that, yes? There could be poisonous plants out there. You don't want to just start munching on things out in the forest. But when you're in a grocery store, the thing is, now get in the habit of working the perimeter of the store. Where do they put the produce section? Always on the side, all the way over there. Way over there. Where's all the organic meat? All the way in the back or all the way on the other side. So they put those things that are healthy and good for you on the perimeter, predominantly. Not everything on the perimeter is good, but now you know to look more on the perimeter when you go to a grocery shop. But look, if it comes in a box, do you think there might be some man-made ingredients in there? Do you think there might be some processing going on? Possibly. So just be more discerning. Read the ingredients if you're looking at boxes. But why not instead go to the produce section and make that your key? And then go to the organic meat section if you choose to eat meat. Either way is fine. If man made it, don't eat it. Is everybody good? That's a life changer right there. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. And ladies that exercise, a lot of them I've come across, not every one of them, but a lot of them, they sit there and they think, well, if I'm exercising, if I'm working out, if I'm lifting weights, I'm doing resistance training, not just, aerobics and running, but if I go and train, I wonder if I'll grow big manly muscles and end up looking something like maybe this. And women actually think about this. I don't want to look like a man. I don't want to work out. I don't want to do that and end up looking. And there's not, by the way, there is nothing wrong with looking like that at all. This woman put her life into achieving that. Literally, she prioritized everything. To look like that, you put everything else in your life on hold. You invest every dollar you have into supplementation, into nutrition, and you work out multiple times a day. But the beautiful thing is, for ladies that have that concern, is you are 100% control of your own body. And to get like that woman on the side, it takes years of dedication, years of financial sacrifice, of personal sacrifice, of everything sacrifice to get to look like she did. So you will see and notice changes in your body that you will love for your life. You will not end up looking like a manly man because, again, you're in complete control. If your muscles tend to grow a little faster than others, you'll notice that. You can always dial it back if you want to. But know that resistance training is very important for women as much as it is for men. Okay? Just want to get that. The second key to unlocking your peak performance is to find and get an accountability partner. This used to be my number one tip. We'll tell you what that is in a moment. But first, look at the screen and tell me, and just shout it out when you see them come up, what do all of these Olympic athletes have in common? What do you think all of these Olympic athletes have in common? Coach? All successful, all champions. We know that is Michael Phelps, multi-time champion. Coach, yes. In fact, they all have a world-class coach. World-class coach, not just a coach, but a world-class coach. And here you see them all with their respective coaches. Do you think that they could have done that alone? Do any of you think they could have achieved that success alone, by themselves? How many of you have ever attempted to do your own business alone without help? Come on, every hand should go up because every one of us has done that. And do you think that that's going to serve you going forward? Do you think if they need a coach to achieve that level, what makes you any different on a business sense? And the key is to get past that ego of thinking, I can do it all myself. I got everything I need. It's all on me. I got this. That's common amongst guys for sure, especially athletic and competitive guys like Anthony, and I used to be that way as well. But now that the ego is gone and I've sought mentorship, I've sought coached, I've sought those world-class people that help me, and because of that, I'm now standing before you, speaking in now the Microsoft Store. I also have my own live events like the Reach Your Peak Summit, which incidentally is coming up very soon in Los Angeles. Yes, world-class coach. So here it is. We will often do more for others than we will do for ourselves. I said that earlier in the opening, yes? Is that true? So let's say, oh, I'm glad we have boyfriend and girlfriend here. Michael, let's say, and I have no clue, but let's say we're going to do some push-ups. And the goal is 10, right? 10 push-ups. And Michael can do push-ups, but this is just for sake of story. Now, let's say you did 8 and said, that's it, I got it, that's it, I'm done, I can't do any more. Sorry, Brian, I can't do any more, 8 is it. I say, Michael, your girlfriend Megan is watching you right now. Give me 2 more. Do you think you could muster up the strength to give me 2 more? He's nodding, yes. Yes. Yes, I see it all over his face. Every man on the planet say, oh, yeah. So, Michael then knocks out 2 more, and he does it with relative ease, but he said, that's it. Oh, I am absolute. They're burning. Everything's burning. I can't do another one. Michael, give me 5 more. Do it for Megan. Do you think you could do it again? Oh, he's nodding. Yeah. You'll do anything it takes to get to that 5. It depends on it takes a coach, because doing it, if you were left to your own accord and I wasn't standing there, Megan wasn't there, you did 8 and said, I'm done, would you have gone on to do 2 more? Would you do 5 more after that? No. Same thing in business. Same thing in business. If you don't have that accountability partner helping to push you to get you to that next level, to take those next steps, to invest in that next course, to take you over the top, it's very key. Very key. So here's what a world-class coach will do. They will push you farther than you would go by yourself. They will take you out of your comfort zone. This is key. Every one of you stepped out of your comfort zone to a degree by standing up here and holding a mic in front of Microsoft Live, or Facebook Live. I'm in Microsoft Store. So good job. Good job. Continue to do that every single day. Get out of your comfort zone every single day. Get in the habit of it. Laurel Langemeyer is the name of the person I'm thinking of, who said once, get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because that will catapult you to success. If you stay in your comfort zone, are you growing? No, if you're comfortable where you are, then you know that something's wrong. If you feel comfortable today, then you're not going anywhere. So when would now be a good time to start habitually getting uncomfortable? Maybe go on Facebook Live. If getting in front of a camera is any type of brings up any kind of fear and trepidation, then that's what you should be doing over and over and over. Whether maybe it's a static video that you're not doing live, start and go to the next step. Get an accountability partner, a coach, a world-class coach that will push you, continually drive you to change your profile picture on Facebook, to do things that he missed it. All right, that was a joke. Hold you accountable. He's like, oh, you got it? Good. So they will also hold you accountable to your daily workouts, to eating clean, and your proper mindset, and your business. And bottom line, this is what we all want, yes? What do we want? What do we want? Yes, that's it. That's the bottom line. We just want results. We want the results that we desire and deserve. Plain and simple. Well, what's the best way to get to those results? Fast, instead of taking the long way, the trial and error, doing it by ourselves. And finally, the third, and most likely one of the most important, the champion mindset, the third key. Yes, you're all writing on your sheets. Good job. It's on the other side. Love it, love it, love it. All right, quickly, we're going to do something. We're going to have some fun. Peak performance scale. It's on your sheet. You see numbers there. You're going to circle a number. On a scale from 1 to 10, self-talk. And you can do this on Facebook Live. Just a number from 1 to 10 you're going to write down in the blank. Self-talk. How are you on your own self-talk? A 1 is no matter what, you're kicking yourself in the butt all the time. Oh, geez, you could have done better. Why the heck did you choose that? Oh, my goodness, that was terrible. You should be kicking butt right now. Why did you sleep in so late? You're always kicking yourself in the butt. That would be a 1. A 10 would be nonstop patting yourself on the back. I only got 8 push-ups in, but it was everything I had. Everything I had. Good job. I'm happy with that. I didn't reach the 10 that I want to reach, but you know what? I'm still giving myself a pat on the back, which, by the way, that's a hint. I would recommend you do that on a regular basis, more than all of us probably do as human beings. Yeah, we're hardest on ourselves, yes? And our self-talk could usually use work. So nobody in here is a 1. Nobody in here is a 10, usually, and on Facebook. But where are you? Put that number down, circle it, and we're not going to share these, by the way. These are 100% for you, so be as honest with yourself as possible. And if you don't like your number, you can cover it up so others can't see it. It's completely yours. Eating habits on a scale of 1 to 10. A 10 is, if man made it, don't eat it. And you're thinking that all the time. You're not just thinking it, but you're executing on that sentence. And you're eating only those things that you know are good for you. And drinking only those things that are good for you. So that's a 10. A 1 is, you're eating cereal, ice cream, Snickers for breakfast. And you get it, right? I don't have to go any farther, do I? So between 1 and 10, rate yourself. Circle that number. Everybody got that? Everybody have their number? Okay. Everyone's still thinking, wow. Exercise habits. Now, here's my definition of a 10. My definition of a 10. You can change it to fit your needs. My definition of a 10 is you work out 6 days a week, up to an hour a day. That's it. If you do that, my rating system is that's a 10. And you take 1 day off for recovery. A 1 would be, well, I'd put it as 0. You just don't work out at all. You consider getting up from your bed to walk to the kitchen or the refrigerator and back as exercise. That's a 1 because you are at least moving and walking. So you get the idea. That's the range. So pick your number, circle it, do it now. Everybody got it? Okay, good. Priorities. So given what you know now about exercising, about nutrition, how does that play in your life priority-wise? So let's take the example of working out or exercising. How many of you keep a personal calendar or for your business or for yourself, like on Google Calendar? Yeah? How many of you have that? And you don't have to raise your hand on this one because there's no judgment. But think about this. How many of you have a workout scheduled in your calendar that's on a consistent basis, that's not only in your calendar, but you made it such a priority that nothing else will move that date and time? That appointment is that important to you. That is a 10. That is a 10 in priority. So if you have it scheduled in your calendar and you're adhering to that as if it were one of the most important customers in your life, then you're a 10 in my book for prioritizing. Same goes with nutrition. You might be in situations where the type of food, if man made it, don't eat it, is not available. Go to a theme park and try to find food that man did not make. I know this from clients of mine. They struggled. So they had to clear off the bun, all the junk from the condiments, and they had the patty, which itself probably wasn't even that natural. But they did what they could. So how much are you prioritizing? So everybody's got that. So out of a total possible of 40, add that up and put that answer in the blank on your sheet. Everybody got that? Did you got it? Okay. And then look at that number. Look at that number and just look at it and go, I wonder what I would need to do. What could I do to take that maybe to a 30 or a 35 or higher than it is now, whatever it is. And think about it. Look at the different things that you rated yourself on, and what are the ones you need to work on the most? Maybe all of them. Maybe one of them. Maybe 3 of them. But this is just for you to contemplate and to recognize starting tomorrow what you're going to change in your life. Maybe starting right after this, because this is in the morning as we're doing this on live. When you see it recorded, we're doing this in the AM. So think about that. How many of you like quizzes? It's like you guys have these memories from school going back there right now. This will be a fun one. You ready? What's the answer? And this is on your sheet as well. Exercise is what percent? Nutrition is what percent out of a total of 100? So is it 50-50? You know, write it down on your paper. Is it 50-50? Is it 80-20? Is it 20-80? 30-70? 70-30? What do you think that answer is? Go ahead and write that down. You don't have to spend much time on it. Just first thing that comes in your head. 50-50, total score 100. Everybody got that? All right. You ready for the answer? The real answer? There was a gentleman. He was a very prominent bodybuilder. How many of you know who Arnold Schwarzenegger is? Ever heard of him? Okay. Do you know that his fame started in the bodybuilding arena? You all know that, right? So this gentleman is not Arnold, but he is another extremely successful bodybuilder. He was asked that question by an interviewer. Came up to him after he worked out. He's sitting on his bench at the end, sweating, and a guy comes up and says, "What do you think? There's a debate out there. Nutrition versus exercise. Which one's more important? What is it? 50-50, 80-20? What is it?" And the guy looks up at him. He was actually kind of pissed off that he was asked the question. He says, "Are you kidding me?" And what he said was, training, that's exercise, is 100%. Nutrition is 100%. Don't fist pump just yet, because there's actually one more. And this is what threw me in a great way. And mental approach is 100%. Think about that. In bodybuilding, how many of you go to that in your mind to say he became successful because he had an awesome mental approach? Not many do, because they're just walking pieces of meat in our eyes. They're just these big meatheads that don't seem to have brains. It's just a common misconception about bodybuilders. The successful ones are anything but. They are brilliant, entrepreneurial. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a perfect example of that. So he said it's like this. So you see that tripod back there that camera is sitting on, a tripod back there. My gosh, there's another one. There's a unipod back there. We got cameras going everywhere. He said it's like this. It's like a tripod. You take one of those three legs away, and what happens to the tripod? It all falls down. How many of you want your tripod to fall down and your camera to break, or yourself not to be operating at peak performance? What time you got? But what? Do you have a time? That's the way I am. Thank you. Oh, we're doing good. Good. Who was that person? Dorian Yates. Now, just to put this in perspective, he was Mr. Olympia for 6 consecutive years. And for those of you sitting there, that may not mean anything to you right now. How many of you have ever heard of Mr. Olympia contest? So 2. Good. 3. All right. Wow, more than usual. How many of you ever heard of the Super Bowl in football? So recognize that's a team sport, and that's the absolute top, highest echelon of victory and achievement in football in the world that you can attain. That is the same with Mr. Olympia. Now, football currently, traditionally, is primarily an American sport. We're talking about American football, not football, which is soccer, right? This is an international sport, and these are individuals all competing from all over the world every single year, year after year. And you put that in perspective. I mean, look at this guy. Look at him. Do you see him on Facebook? Look at this guy. He's like, he's big, he's huge, he's massive. Do you think he has any idea what he's talking about with that kind of pedigree? Of course. So should we model, should we do what successful people do? Do you think that would help us in any way? One of the keys to success, you can write this down. One of the keys to your success is to model success. What does model mean? What's another word for model? Copy. How many of you were brought up saying it's good to copy your neighbor in school? How many? Nobody? Right. We were ingrained in our brain that copying was a bad thing at a deep level in our head. We're like, that's not a good thing. I'm not going to copy somebody. That's another reason many of us go to doing it on our own. It's not good to copy, even though we're not thinking that out loud. It's subconsciously, it's there, that it's okay. It's not okay to copy. Well, I'm here to give you permission today, going forward, from this point forward, now and forever, that you must. It's your obligation to copy those who are successful. You must do it. because your success, not only your success rides on it, but those around you who you are impacting, it will affect as well. Remember, we covered that a little bit ago. So it's not always just about you. Take it outside of yourself. How are you impacting others? How are you helping others? You guys getting this? Is it making sense? You getting value? Okay, good. So here's your brain. It's just big blob of ice floating in water. It's an iceberg. So here is a good depiction of your brain, my brain. It's how our brains are constructed. We have a conscious mind. We all have a conscious mind. We're thinking right now. We're aware of now all the sounds around us, the ambient sounds that, this is quite a interesting environment for a seminar, isn't it? For a meetup. And you can see it can be quite distracting at times. I've seen your eyes kind of glancing away. But you guys are doing fantastic, by the way. You're paying attention. You're being very attentive. So you guys were learning. That's good. So our conscious mind, that's what you're thinking right now. You're aware of it. You're thinking it. That comprises only 5% of your total brain, of your mind. 5%. Your unconscious mind, that's the part, or unconscious thinking, when you're dreaming at night. Things that you don't even realize you're thinking because it's unconscious. That comprises 95% of your mind. Now, looking at those two numbers, you guys are pretty smart. Which of those two would you say is supremely more powerful than the other? Exactly, unconscious mind. The thing is, until recently, quite recently, none of us knew how to tap into that unconscious mind to help it, our unconscious mind, to serve us better. The good news is we now can do that, and we're going to discuss that in just a moment. But what is that? What is your unconscious mind responsible for? It's your attitudes, which all came from memory and learning. Your memory and your learning is all stored in your unconscious. Your emotions, anger, fear, hurt, guilt, sadness, all the major negative emotions as well as positive, love. Your behaviors. What are your behaviors day to day? What if your behaviors aren't serving you right now? What if your day-to-day behaviors are, I'm not motivated all the time, I'm not consistent, or I'm not being as efficient as I should be because my behaviors are ingrained? What if those could be reprogrammed at a subconscious level to where now you're automatically always on it? Would that be powerful? Yeah, of course. Your reality. Your perception of reality is most likely quite different than the person sitting next to you. And we go over that in depth in the Reach Your Peak Summit coming up in LA, and your healing and body maintenance. So let me ask you right now, Anthony, are you consciously saying to your heart, beat, beat, beat? No? Well, how is it doing that? Oh, your subconscious. Okay, you had me scared there for a minute. So it's that. So when you get a scab on your, when you get a nick and you're bleeding, do you look at it and go, heal thyself and scab over, and then it does it because of your conscious mind telling it? Does it? No? Okay, so how does it do it then? What's going on? What's controlling that? The subconscious mind. He doesn't even want to answer. He's like, I know it's a dumb question. So the thing is, it's also that part of your brain that is canceling out the feeling of your butt in those chairs. And now that's come to your awareness, and you're thinking about your butt sitting in those chairs. Yeah? And now, there's always one. There's always one. So you guys get it, right? The subconscious mind is extremely powerful. And now that you are going to find out a way to tap into that and reprogram it for your better, is that exciting to know that you can do that? Just to know you can do that? Would it be more exciting to know how you can do that and to experience it? Okay, good. Because if not, I'll just stop right now if it's not exciting. It's exciting? Okay. What is NLP? That's called Neuro-Linguistic Programming. And what it can be thought of in one sentence is the science of success. It's only been out for about 40 years, just 40 years old, and two gentlemen developed it, Richard Bandler and John Grinder. And they were both working at a college as professors. So Richard Bandler was concentrating primarily in philosophy and psychology, and John Grinder on linguistics, on language patterns. And that was all birthed. It was actually the birthplace of NLP was the University of California in Santa Cruz, so just up north from where we are right now, by a bit, up north. And what happened was Richard Bandler took the baton, and he has been teaching NLP to this day. He is still teaching it. He just finished a seminar recently in London, England. And he's a very world-renowned author, very successful. Highly recommend that you pick these books up. In fact, you'll see 2 of these on a resource, a free resource I'd like to give you today. Would you guys like a free resource? A gift? A gift? So this is something that literally has changed my life for the better. All you have to do is write this down and then go to it after this meeting. And that's a website. It's called reachyourpeaklibrary.com. reachyourpeaklibrary.com. There's nothing for sale by me on there. It's all links to Amazon to get those books. There's 30 books there currently at the time of recording this. These were books that I have read, personally read, that have had an impact positively on my life. And you'll see Richard Bandler as several of those resources. So go in there. Grant Cardone is another big one I would go for right away. But Richard Bandler, what he said was, in life you are given a bag of moments. You don't know how many of those moments you have. I mean, do any of us really know how long we have here on earth? We don't know how many moments we have. Learning NLP is about maximizing those moments that we do have. And there he is. You see, he said that in London, 2010. So he does London. He's been in Florida. He still does seminars all over the world. He also said, when you want new results, it requires new thinking. Good feelings, good decisions. Bad feelings, bad decisions. Remember that young man we showed earlier? It's true, and it's all coming from the subconscious mind. If you know how the brain works, you can set your own directions. If you don't, then someone else will. How many of you want to set your own directions? How many of you want someone else to set your directions and tell you what to do, when to do, how to do it? Nobody does. Not a human being on this planet that I've ever run into would like that to happen on a consistent basis. NLP is the key to getting that. So here's the peak performance system in a nutshell. You can't compartmentalize your performance. You can't have it in 3 pieces. That, for those watching that may not be able to see this, nutrition and exercise, mindset, and accountability. They cannot be compartmentalized and pulled apart. So when you take a comprehensive, holistic approach to your body, to your health, and to your fitness, to your business, what you get are what you all want. Results. You get results. Yes? Yes. Who wants results? Yes. All right. Good job, Megan. Mid type. So have I brought value today so far? Have I brought you enough value? Remember I told you I was going to ask you, do I have your permission to spend about 10 minutes to tell you about an amazing offer that could just do nothing but change your life? Would that be okay with you? Is that okay with you on Facebook? I can't see your answer, so I'm just going to go with their answer for now. So I'm going to assume you said yes. Please, Brian, hurry up. Tell us what it is so we can get going and take the next step. So what we have is a 2-day signature live event coming up in Los Angeles, California, August 26th and 27th. If you have a calendar, write this down now. Put it in your calendar as if it is your appointment. And I say that not just for this event, but for anything going forward that you are doing. When you're looking at someone and they have an event or something you know is going to be good for you, it feels right. You just know it's the right next step. Then get in the habit of now entering it into your calendar as if you know you're going to spend all day Saturday and Sunday, 26, 27, in this case, in LA. No matter where you live, it's worth, I'll ask in a moment, some who have been to previous summits, if it's worth actually traveling to or even putting some investment of money in. It's definitely an investment of time, obviously. It's 2 days. Is it worth your life to invest 2 days to change it forever? That's all. That's all I would ask. All right, 2 days, August 26th, 27. So it's going to be broken out in 3 pieces. First, we're going to start with the foundation. The foundation. I will show you and teach you how to gain up to 4 hours of productivity every single day. That's right here. I think you can see that on the banner. How to gain 4 hours of this is actual, measured, proven results from a client of mine who literally tracked and figured out how to say, yes, I gained 4 hours. How many of you would like 4 additional hours in your day? How many of you think it's possible to have 28 hours in a day? It's not, is it? What if you could take those 24? Well, let's take it this way. What if you had 8 hours and you're working? Let's say you work an 8-hour day, just for fun. You work 8 hours, and it takes you 8 hours every day to finish everything you need to get done. What if you could take that and finish everything in 4? Half. What would that mean? What could you do with an additional 4 hours? Think about that. And whatever it is for you is right for you. Would it be, I can spend that additional 4 and get twice as much done on my business, like Anthony is in the process of doing? He wants efficiency, and that's what he's getting. He's starting down that path. What could you do with 4 hours? We'll also go in more depth than what we just went over today, because we have very little time. We're running out of time right now. The 3 keys to unlocking your peak performance. We'll go in much deeper. You will learn how to reprogram your brain to instantly change your harmful behaviors into empowering behaviors that serve you. You're not just going to sit there and take notes the whole time. You will take notes. You will also experience. This is an experiential workshop. You will go through some processes. You will walk in to the Reach Your Peak Summit as you version 1, like Anthony did. He walked in as Anthony 1.0. By the end of day 1, not even day 2, but the end of day 1, when he came back through those doors, you can't see him over there, but he was the guy that was up here, the Dark Knight, Batman man, that he's my twin, by the way. We'll go to that in a different one a little later. He came back in after day 1 was complete as Anthony version 2.0. Was that true? Do you think? Was that a good description? He's nodding emphatically, yes, that was true. Because that's just what happens. You just change your life at the Reach Your Peak Summit. That's it. And you do it. I just guide you. Is that right? I just guide you. You just follow instructions. Was it easy? Yes. Was it fun? Yes. I mean, fun and easy. There's 2. Just go. We'll give you the link here in a minute. Experience how to overcome your self-limiting beliefs permanently. How many of you have ever had a limiting belief like, I'm too young, I'm too old, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I'm a girl, I'm a guy, whatever. Yeah. What if you now are trained to be aware of when those limiting beliefs crop up in your mind, and you had the tool to redecide them within a span of 5 to 7 minutes permanently? So give you an example. I started a fitness business at the age of 47. What do you think one limiting belief might have cropped up into my head as I was about to make that decision? I'm too old. Who are you to think you can? What? You're 47 and you're starting a fitness business? That was a limiting belief I had. That was just one. We all have them. In fact, the most successful, including Richard Branson on the planet, still always have limiting beliefs. They crop up. But what if you were able to become aware of them instantly and then eradicate them as they came up and redecide them into something that was more empowering? And do that automatically at a subconscious level. How would that impact you, your life, your business, your loved ones going forward? Would that be impactful, do you think? Maybe? Yeah, of course. How to release the number 1 negative emotion that's been causing resistance and holding you back from achieving ultimate success. You're going to go through a process at the Reach Your Peak Summit where you are going to release the number 1 negative emotion. You will do this in 7 minutes. And when you're finished with that process, you will come back with a feeling of, and the overriding word for this is liberation. You'll feel a weight lifted off your shoulders. You'll feel freer. And you'll just be amazed. And the thing is that picture of being on the Arizona morning television show, that actually occurred immediately, like a week or 2 after I went through this process myself for the first time. And because I went through that process, I said that one word. I got in the habit of saying that one word that catapulted me to success. And that was all because of this process right here. Just that one Anthony, this is one process by itself. If you were to come to the event and spend 7 minutes, would it have been worth the price of admission that you paid to come to the event? Would it have been worth more than the price of admission?
Because of that 1 7-minute instance, I've been able to 10 times what it cost me.
So because of that 1 7-minute instance, what he said was it's been able to help him 10 times his current business as a direct result of just that one process. That's huge. You will learn the one word that will set you on a focused path to success, and you will learn it at a deep level, and you will learn to practice saying it over and over and over and know that it's the right word every single time. And by the way, everything you're going to learn none of this is new, It's just a combination of things that I know work. That work. They bring success. And the thing is, everything you see here, I live. It's an example. I'm not just someone who will tell you about it and then, oh, I think you should do it. I think it's a good thing because I've heard it's good. Someone else does it. No. If I'm talking about it from stage, you can rest assured it's something I put into practice myself personally. Then we will have an amazing trio of individuals coming. 2 of them are here. They're awesome, supporting Anthony Gary, Thomas Gary, and Marlon Ruby of Digital Strategic Marketing. What they will do, now that we've built the foundation, now what do you do with the foundation? Because you still have to actually turn the crank and do some work to get your business going and get some leads and make some sales. And they will show you how to generate and attract an unlimited amount of highly targeted buying leads for your business. How many of you have heard of lead magnets or lead attracting systems? Get more leads, we'll flood you with leads. How many of you have heard any of that on the internet, seen it before? I mean, but what's always missing? What seems to be, I mean, great, so I'll get 100,000 leads. But how come they're not buying? You know, they give you all these leads, you spend all this money, you got this email autoresponder, you put all this work, you put these series together, and you hear crickets because there's no cha-ching going in the background with your cash register. Well, that's what Anthony and his group specialize in, is bringing you highly targeted buying leads for your business. So there's no wasting time here. There's no wasting time. That's what we're about, efficiency, getting things done quickly and efficiently and successfully. And that's why I bring in the All-Stars, the All-Star team. And one thing Anthony has agreed to do is also bring in a hands-on workshop for you, no extra charge, for an hour and a half during lunch. You're going to go through a lunch and learn where food will be, you'll have the ability to pre-purchase your lunch. You'll sit in the class and stay there while Anthony and his magical crew will take you through a workshop and demystify Facebook ads, and this really is your secret weapon to wealth. And so bring your laptops. This is highly interactive, and we have free Wi-Fi throughout the room, so you'll be set. You'll be able to harness the untapped power of Amazon to gain additional customers, and that's what Marlon up here, oh, the laser doesn't work on that. Marlon Ruby is an absolute expert at Amazon, so this is something I personally am highly interested in learning more about. So take it to another level, both Facebook ads and Amazon. And by the way, Anthony and his team are also SEO experts, which is a very difficult field. He's genius beyond even my comprehension because he's a good friend of mine, but I learn something more from him every single day that I talk to him. You will learn how you can pay once and then benefit forever. Oh, the magic of retargeting. It is amazing. And pixeling, and I don't get it all. I still don't get it all. I don't have to. That's the beauty. I don't have to get it all. I have somebody like Anthony in my corner. We do business together. I bring on guest speakers who I personally vet, who I do business with, who give me results. That's the bottom line. And that's what you should do too, is bring in those people to you that not only are talented, but get you the results you're looking for. It's very important. 5 steps to creating a super successful ad. So he'll pull away the curtain and show you the exact words that you can use. He and Thomas and Marlon will show you this. Thomas is another brilliant guy. They're over here. You can't see him off camera. He was here with the red jacket earlier. 4 keys to quickly building laser-targeted lists. So list, what does that mean? It's an email list. How many of you here have heard money is in the list? Money is in the list. The money is in the list. It's about building, so a lot of people would think, I just need to get 10,000 people in my list and I'm golden. Well, again, if they're not targeted or even laser targeted, what good are they? So let me ask you guys this. I will give you right now 100,000 leads to put in your autoresponder right now. Or I will give you 1,000 leads that are highly targeted, that are much more likely to buy, and the guarantee for you to get business is virtually guaranteed. Which one, do you want 100,000, the big massive quantity, or do you just want 1,000 who will buy? 1,000 who will buy, right? It's not about quantity, it's about quality, and that's what Anthony and his team bring to the table. That's why they are part of the Reach Your Peak Summit. And then we'll also bring on John Kurth, another personal friend of mine, whom I've also done business with. This man is an absolute genius when it comes to language. Anthony's done business with John Kurth, and so we spread the wealth. We spread the word and let others have access to this incredible wealth of information, experience, and results, like Anthony, like John, like Thomas, like Marlon, and moi. So, how to make your sales language more comprehensive, substantial, and precise. John will help you to craft your message into something that results in a customer taking action, the action you wish them to take. How to create winning sales scripts to authentically deliver the perfect words and phrases that close sale after sale, after sale, after sale. So it's one thing to get those leads. It's great. You want those highly targeted, laser targeted buying leads that Anthony and his team will bring to you. And then you take it to John Kurth, who will then show you the proper methods for closing the deal. Because oftentimes entrepreneurs, that's where we fall short, is sometimes it's just asking for the deal, asking for the money, asking for the business. But then when you get to that point and you get past that fear, what do you say? John will show you exactly through his proven method how to do that. How to use your highly effective scripts to scale your business. How many of you know it's important to scale your business, to make it larger, to keep growing? How many of you know how to do that? I mean really know how, specifically, to a T. One, okay. He will show you how you can scale it from different angles. One is to bring in others, right? How many of you have ever heard of the E-Myth? The E-Myth, yeah. His name is escaping me, the author. Do you remember? We'll get it. Graybeard. Gerber. Michael Gerber. Similar to that, John will show you how you can use systems to scale your business. So if you don't have systems in place and you hire people on, well, you're set up for disaster. John will show you how you can set up a series of scripts that can be easily followed so that you can have your team create you success time and time again, consistently, every single time. I mean, tell me this. There's one restaurant that exists today that's doing billions of dollars, billions with a B, every single year. And predominantly, if you were to walk in there today, on any one of them, they're all over the world, they are predominantly run by teenagers. McDonald's, you got it. How can they do that? How can they just let loose these teenagers into a restaurant and have this incredible success everywhere around the world? Because they have systems in place, and they had someone like John develop their scripts to make their systems automatic and repeating time and time again. So that's what John brings as well. And you'll learn the time-tested and proven method for successfully and consistently closing more sales. How many of you want to close more sales? How many of you want to close more sales? Close more deals? The other way. Because without sales, you have no income. And much, much more. John is just a master. So how many of you are digging this so far? How many of you are ready to come? How many of you want a ticket? Oh, the ticket. 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 Everyone who comes to this event will get in the mail a ticket. A physical ticket. It's not done very much these days anymore. Here. A physical ticket. See that? It's beautiful. Two-sided. Physical ticket along with a personalized welcome letter signed by me personally, 6 pages to give you all the details of the event, so you'll have no questions coming in. And if you do, you simply contact us and let us know. So in summary, we start off with building the foundation, your mindset, your peak performance. Then we go into attracting your ideal market with Anthony and his expert crew, and how to bring in highly targeted buying leads. And then winning more customers. John Kurth will bring it home by showing you how you can close more deals, close more sales, and make the money you desire and you deserve. It's a 2-day live summit, 2-day live event. So at this point, Anthony has been to this live 2-day event. You know what it costs to come, but what would you put the value on it now that you've been through it? You said you 10x your business. So what would you put 2 days? Just throw out a number of what you think it would normally, what everyone else could pay and still get the value that they get out of the business, out of the event.
After attending the event, it's worth easily $1,000 or more.
I should have put him in front of the camera for that. Yeah, just like he has right now, this big smile. $1,000 or more. You're not going to pay $1,000. You're not even going to pay half of that. You're not even going to pay half of that for 2 days, 2 full days. So we've been here for 2 hours. Imagine spending 2 days with me, with Anthony, with John. You guys, you got value, right? You're good with that? So 2 days. Today, right now, you can attend this 2-day live summit for just $97. That's it. Just it. $97. $97. So for those of you on Facebook, to get your ticket, go to reachyourpeaksummit.com. reachyourpeaksummit.com. You'll see buttons there. Click on them. Get your ticket. Get them now. We have very limited seating, small space, so we like to keep it intimate. So get your ticket now, and then I will send you in the mail when I get home after this weekend, because I'm in San Diego and I don't live here. We're on the road. When I get home, this will be dropped in the mail, sent out to you, along with a personalized welcome letter, welcoming you to the family of the Reach Your Peak Summit. Sound good? Oh, and by the way, it is 100% guaranteed. Guaranteed. So if you don't get the life change that someone like Anthony got, if you got nothing out of this that wasn't worth your time, then we'll guarantee it. You get your money back if you don't like it. No one has ever asked for it back, but the guarantee is there. All right. So for you on Facebook Live, we're actually going to be done now. We're done. We're going to go into a quick mastermind session. For those of you on Facebook Live, be sure to go to reachyourpeaksummit.com, order your ticket, and we'll see you there at the summit. Can't wait. Have a great day.